You send me some pictures. It looked like if I were to see the pictures, I would say the truck driver in that truck was a Connor. Your hands on the steering wheel, firm and straight, and don't make any quick reactions, because if you do, then this is a real life situation of what can happen.
Yeah, and my friend, the one that got me into the trucking industry, he always told me, just keep your wheels straight, don't do anything, just hit the brakes. That's all you gotta do. And I had that in the back of my head every time I've been driving from, like Texas up and down, left and right. But the thing is, I didn't think about it. It was just something quickly, and it is what it is. Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's such a miracle that you are here. I see the scar on your forehead.
Oh,
I mean, oh my gosh.
yeah.
It is crazy. Can you tell me how long you've been truck driving, and the situation of what happened and what you would like other truck drivers to know today?
Alex, man, I've been truck driving for only 8 months, and a friend of mine told me about the trucking industry. I used to live down in Florida, and I moved to Texas because of that, and been doing it for like about 7 to 8 months right now, and I got it pretty quickly, and I don't know if you might know, but the I-35 out of here in Texas, Interstate 35, by mile marker 277, there is a Texas Travel Center there. And I was just refueling, going home for the next day. And I get out of the fuel station, make a right turn on the service road. There's 2 lanes. I was on my left lane, and I see the truck in front of me was going like about 40 miles an hour, 45. And I moved to the right lane, started passing him. I was probably going about 5 miles over his speed, more or less, no more than that. And I noticed there was a car close to his bumper. So I'm passing slowly, and then once I was just starting to pass him, this car just was going to hit me, move to my lane, and my instinct was just to move to the right. I like steer to the right, and my truck ended up going to the ditch. There's like a storm sewer there, made out of concrete, storm sewer, like a V shape, and then the drain is all the way at the end.
Mm-hmm.
My truck hit the tree, the only tree that was there on the passenger side, and then it went just like in about a 45-degree angle, just slipped through the storm drain, and hit the concrete drain head on. And right there, I lost conscience, to be honest. I don't remember after that. The next thing I remember is that I woke up. I realized that the whole thing was just destroyed. And I said, oh my God, what the heck just happened? Is this a dream or what? And I tried to come out through the passenger windshield that was broken. And as soon as I was trying to come out of there, somebody, gave me a hand and pulled me out. I stepped on top of the engine and jumped to the grass, and I realized, okay, so physically I'm functioning for now. So, state trooper came in. It's not state trooper. I think it was Jarrow Police Department was there, and a couple of other, emergency vehicles were there, and they gave me aid and everything, and I made it straight to the hospital from there. So.
Oh man, so it's definitely the four-wheeler's fault for just crashing into you. But
He never ended up crashing into me. I avoided, and that's the reason why I crashed.
Oh, so he was about to crash into you, and then you made the quick reaction.
Yep, that's what it was. I was avoiding the accident, and I basically ended up in the ditch. He never got to hit me.
So what would you, if you were to go back in the past, what would you do differently, in that situation, if any?
Hit the brakes. And keep going straight. Hit the brakes. Hit the brakes, or I would just probably stay behind that truck as long as necessary to get back on the highway. That's, because other than that, Alex, I don't know if there were kids inside the car. I don't know if I hit that car and that car end up in the situation that I end up to. I don't know if that car would have survived. And it's kind of hard to move forward knowing that you probably killed somebody. So I'm glad that I'm here and nobody else is hurt and it's just me. You know.
So, to all the thousands of listeners and watchers out there, um, sometimes it's hard, especially if there's animals. I know sometimes deer, moose get on the road, scary things like that. But if something happens, you just got to keep your hands on the steering wheel firm and straight, and don't make any quick reactions, because if you do, then this is a real life situation of what can happen.
Yeah, and my friend, the one that got me into the trucking industry, he always told me, just keep your wheels straight, don't do anything, just hit the brakes. That's all you gotta do. And I had that in the back of my head every time I've been driving from, like Texas up and down, left and right. But the thing is, I didn't think about it. It was just something quickly, and it is what it is.
No, I appreciate you sharing. A lot of people wouldn't be brave enough to share, because it's not that you started the situation, but it's almost, some people would be a little bit embarrassed to say that they made this quick reaction, and because of that all these things happen. But because of your story today, I think people can physically see it, especially when I show them the pictures, to keep your hands straight as possible and try your best to not overreact. But I know it's difficult, because when these things happen, it happens at a surprise.
I guess the lack of experience on the road, is part of that. Um, I mean, every day we avoid accidents out there. It's
Yeah.
inevitable. You got people, cutting you off and breaking in front of you, and you have to understand, the road conditions, and how far distances that you are gonna be able to stop. That your truck is in good condition. That mechanically the brakes are working good and everything. But still, when you are in that situation, it doesn't matter if you avoid 1,000 accidents. That 1,001 got to you, and hey, it is what it is. But the reason why, Alex, I wanted to get in touch with you is because here's the crazy part, man. I was on Laredo the night before, and I was gonna go home that day, and I did not do it because they load me really late, and I said, you know what, I'm just gonna go straight to Dallas. I still got the hours on my logbook. I'm just gonna go straight, and I made it right.
Mhm.
I was supposed to stop home and pick up my son that night to go to Dallas with me the following morning because he came from Florida to visit me. He lives with his mom in Florida, and I was supposed to pick him up. I was supposed to go home that night, and then the next morning around 4 a.m. go straight to Dallas and be there by 7, 8 o'clock. And on my way down, he was gonna be riding with me on that day because he's here for a week on spring break, and we are spending some time together. And man, when I got to the yard, and then the following morning, I was too sore, and I had to go get my phone, my wallet, everything in the truck. I couldn't get to the truck. I had to break the windshield and dive down so I can reach my phone, tell him, hey, call me. And when I saw that passenger side, man, the dashboard was completely, you know, against the seat, and the roof was against the seat. And if my son was on that driver's seat, he would be dead by now. And the reason why I want to get to all the Mutha truckers out there is because if we can avoid to have family members in the truck, it's worth not to have anybody there. It's unless it's necessary, because when we leave every morning or every night to go work, I know our job is not very appreciated by a lot of people, but we move the country, man. And it's hard. You don't know if you're coming back. You don't know if you're coming back, and I don't know what I would have done if I survived that accident. My son doesn't, to be honest. And the second thing I want to share with everybody is, because of your channel, I was setting up my business the best way possible. Listening to stories and all the successful drivers and companies and all that. Man, and I bought me a dash cam. I bought me a dash cam that records front and back. Well, guess what? My dash cam stopped working 2 days before, man.
Oh my gosh.
So if we're gonna do that investment, let's make sure that it's the top of the line one, bro. The top of
Mm,
the line one that will never let you down.
mm. No, all this is good advice. No, I appreciate you for being on the show. Thank you. I'm glad you're here today. I'm glad that your son was not in the truck, and hopefully with your story, others will see it and hear it, and get some value out of this. And it's just a learning curve, So I appreciate you, brother. No, thank you.
Yeah.
This sometimes, we have to take something positive out of something negative, and the positive side of this is, we're able to share this story, and maybe it could save a lot of lives.
And something else that I wanted to mention, now you got many people that watch you, man, is when I got to that truck and I was able to dive down, get my belongings that I was able to find. The only area that you can access the truck, and this is crazy, is the driver's seat where I was sitting. Everything else is completely gone.
It's so crazy.
So,
it's so crazy. No, I'm thankful you're here. I appreciate you for being on the show.
Thank you, man.
And, yeah. And I'll talk to you soon, brother.
All right, brother. Take care. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.